Hey wannabes, it's Brian the B-Man. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Chillin' with B. Today we're going to go over a couple of news stories in the world of gaming, starting off with number one, Castlevania Requiem. Now we heard a couple weeks ago, if you've been anywhere on the internet and you're into gaming, you've heard that they're bringing a version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night to the PlayStation 4, and it's going to be bundled with another Castlevania game called Rondo of Blood. I myself have never played Rondo of Blood. It's supposed to be the prequel to Symphony of the Night. When you start that game and you're fighting Dracula, I think is Richter Belmont, that's the end sequence from that game. And that game came out in Japan. I don't know if it ever got an American release at the time, but supposedly there was a version of it in a remake called, I think it was called Dracula X or something like that came out on the PSP. So those are the versions of the games we're going to get. Along with that, we're going to lose some of the cheesy dialogue that we all loved from Symphony of the Night. And I'm going to play a clip of some of that dialogue right after I'm done here. But, Symphony of the Night was really one of my favorite games of all time for a very, very long time. I have owned that game on every console it's been available on since the beginning of time. I've had it on the PlayStation several times because I would beat it. I'd get tired of it. I'd sell it. I'd rebuy it again used. I then bought it when it came out on Xbox. I've had it on everything that it's been available on, and I haven't played in a while. I'm sure I'm going to buy it again on the PlayStation 4 as well. Alright, so let me just play you that cheesy clip, and then we'll come back and talk about some more stuff.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you.
So all this cheesy fun can be had October 26th, just in time for Halloween. Of course, we got a lot of games coming out around this time, so I don't know if visiting a 20-year-old game is going to be quite feasible, but it's definitely going to be on my list of something to get to in due time. And going from the old to the new, we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 4 coming out this Friday, October 12th. I talked about this on a prior episode that I took off the day from work to go play some Call of Duty. Now, if you're like me and you want to jump right in, that's all well and good, especially if you bought the game digitally. However, some news has come out that if you bought the game on disc at a retailer, pre-order, you're going to pick it up. Day one, you're going to have to download and install a 55 gig around that area size day one patch in order to play the game. And on PlayStation, even though the amount of the gigs is 55 gigs needed, you're actually going to have to need about 115 gigs free on your PlayStation because it does some kind of like reinstall workaround kind of thing. I don't know the math behind it. I'm not a technical genius or anything, but that's just what I read on various sites. So, if you're one of those people who's going to like a midnight release where you're going to buy the game physically or something like that, be prepared to not be able to play right away. In fact, some places around the world, I think in Europe or England or somewhere like that, they've actually decided to start selling the game about 6 hours earlier to accommodate people in this download. So that's actually pretty cool. Me, myself, I buy everything digital at this point. I have not owned a physical game this current game generation. I know sometimes you run out of space on your consoles. I got 1 terabyte versions of both the PlayStation and Xbox, and even there occasionally I have to delete a game or two to make room for new ones. I'm guessing in the future it won't be as much of an issue, especially if streaming takes hold like we talked about on a recent episode, and the amount of hard drive space given is getting cheaper and cheaper. You can buy yourself a pretty decent external drive pretty cheap. Alright, so that's it. A little bit of news in the Call of Duty front. I can't wait for this game to come out and downloads and all. Alright, let's move on. Have you ever wanted to change your identity, your name, your online persona, the thing that identifies you to all of your friends and communities in your gaming world? No? Me neither. Well, apparently somebody does, and PlayStation Online is going to allow you to do just that in the near future. They're going to be rolling this out first to like preview program to like, I guess, beta testers and whatnot. So if you've signed up for beta software testing for PlayStation, you're going to get first dibs on that. But it is going to come to the rest of us in 2019. They're going to let you change your name the first time for free. After that, it will be a $9.99 fee in the US, $4.99 if you're a PlayStation Plus member. Like I said in the beginning, I was kind of joking, but not at the same time. Why would you want to change your name when everybody knows you by this name and whatnot? I don't know. Unless you were 6 years old when you created the ID and it's XX iHeart Ninja XX. Then you'd have a valid reason to change your name. But who knows? I guess it's there, so it's just another feature that probably should have been in there to begin with and just never was. And now it's getting added, and they feel they should advertise to us about that. So look forward to that in the near future. Let's move on. Alright, final thing to talk about. Ring of Elysium. I did put out a video the other day of me playing the game. Kind of not doing so good at it, but that's my thing. Whatever. It's kind of like a PUBG-like game, except it's got extreme sports in it. You can snowboard, you can hang glide, you can rock climb, all sorts of cool stuff. But nonetheless, a lot of things were going around, especially on the Steam forums, about this game stealing your identity, key logging, stuff that's kind of scary and could maybe keep potential players away, and that's a thing. So, Tenant Games, the ones that put out this particular product, they're also responsible for PUBG on the mobile devices, and so far they're doing a good job, in my opinion. They put out a statement. It's on their blog. I'm going to read that to you real quick. Dear players, since the official launch on Steam of September 19th, Ring of Elysium was well received by many players as a new Arctic survival shooting game. We would like to express our sincere gratitude. For the data and privacy issues that players have been concerned about recently, we solemnly promise to all users of Ring of Elysium that your privacy is respected and protected at all times. Ring of Elysium would never illegally spy on user privacy. Our end-user license agreement and privacy policy are in compliance with applicable local laws and regulations, including U.S. laws and regulations in the location of operation, as well as the game's industry security standards. At present, Ring of Elysium uses 10 Protect, TP for short, a game security system independently developed by Tencent. It is committed to combat malicious acts that undermine the fair play environment, such as cheating, malicious use of game exploits, botting, and other malicious acts in order to protect the fair play environment for players. At the same time, we also found that a small number of individuals defined Ring of Elysium as Trojan or malware, misleading the player base. In regards to this issue, we want to remind players not to trust any information from unofficial platforms to avoid deception. Furthermore, the right of legal action is reserved against those who spread rumors maliciously and act which damages the reputation of Tencent Games and the Ring of Elysium brand. Lastly, Tencent Games and the Ring of Elysium dev team are devoted to providing the best quality products and services to players around the world. If you have any questions of the game, would like to know more about future update and optimizations, please use the following platforms. And they tell you about their Twitter account, Facebook, and Discord. So I've been having a lot of fun with this game. Like I said, I'm not very good at it. Take that for a grain of salt. But I really, really enjoyed my time with this game. Doesn't cost a dime, so I hope all these things are true, that it's not an issue, it's just people being malicious and whatnot. And I'm gonna have to take my chances at this point. I feel like I said, I've been playing their PUBG mobile version that's put out by the same company. Haven't had any issues with them yet. I'm gonna like to think that they're doing right by their customers, and it would be stupid of them not to be. They got a lot of money they can make if they do things right. So, yeah, that's it. If you're not afraid of a little keylogging, check out Ring of Elysium. I have. It's free. It's on Steam, and it's a lot of fun. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. And until next time, peace out, wannabes.